guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's class, I'm going to give you the reasons why I prefer to do pattern drafting um, compared to freehand. Now, this video is for you if you are maybe someone that does freehand and you're looking like, should I go and learn how to do pattern drafting or no? Or maybe you are just about to start your fashion journey and you're like, how many types of cotton? Sometimes you go to fashion school, you don't even know what method they use. You're so excited, you just want to start your fashion journey and you don't even know it's maybe at the end of it, you'll now be like, oh, they taught me freehand rather than pattern drafting. And I am not saying freehand is bad because I also do freehand in some styles, in some things. Yeah. So, and then also this video is for you if you just really, really want to know some of the reasons or some of the benefits of pattern drafting over freehand, right? Okay, so this is my trouser block on the table here, and I just drafted it, and I want to cut it. Normally I would not cut it. In fact, that's what inspired this video, because I know myself, normally I will never cut my block, but I just feel like I don't want to go through the stress. I mean, I'm just getting started again. I just recently relocated. This is like my first piece. I'm like, okay, let me just do this for myself before I even start doing the customers work. And I'm just like, okay, I'll make another one that I keep, but I just want to cut this one. But anyway, let's go into the reason for this video. So in case you are wondering who the hell is this in front of my camera, my name is Adedoyin Kafi Babalola. I'm a fashion designer and I am a fashion teacher. I've been teaching fashion for over a decade now, and I am a Nigerian designer that's recently relocated to the United Kingdom. So I'm just starting and picking up again. Like, well, let's go into the video. So that's just to introduce myself in case you didn't know me. And then please join me or subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm going to be doing a lot more on YouTube than I used to do, right? So let's do this together. The first reason why I never cut my patterns is because if when you first make a pattern, or when you are doing a production, or you're making clothes, for instance, you first of all want to do the first pattern, and then you make the sample, and then you can go back and do some adjustments. Oh, I want this place to be tighter, I want this place to be freer, I want them to there to be gathers here, I want, you do some adjustments after you've seen the first sample, right? That is the first reason why you shouldn't cut your block, because you can just go inside there easily and just adjust. Oh, okay. Oh, I made this leg 6.5, it's too wide, let me just reduce it to 5.5. Or I made this leg 5.5, it's too slim, let me just let me increase it to 6. I can come in here, so I can correct whatever mistake I made, or I can adapt it into whatever design I want to do. And it's easy because it's in a block form. So I can see everything that I have done and I can correct it. So that's the first reason why I don't cut my patterns. I can come back and adjust it and all. Now, the second reason why I love pattern drafting and I don't cut my blocks is because I can come back to that block and use it over and over and over and over and over again. Of course, because I can adapt it into different styles, that means I can come back to it and use it over and over. Now, people always say, this is a myth, people always say that, oh, pattern drafting takes a lot of time. Oh, you first of all create the pattern, then you now cut it, then you now put allowance before you now go and cut it on the fabric. By that time, I finished making a clothes. And I'm like, freehand saves you time the first time. But imagine if you had to do 10 pieces of the same thing. Oh, and let's not get it twisted. So you had to do one today. So you cut it today, because you can easily tell me that if I have to do 10 pieces of the same thing, I'll just place one of the patterns on it and I'll just take it away, right? So imagine if the customer came the first time, I only said, do 2 for me, and went. And then the customer comes back like 2 weeks after and says, do 20 for me, but you don't have the pattern again. because you use freehand method. So you have to bring your brain again and come and calculate the length and the breadth and the, whereas you kept the pattern. So customer A kept the pattern, customer 2 just did freehand. And so at the end of the day, customer A still has a pattern and she's just going to simply bring out a pattern and put it. So it saves our time. So pattern drafting saves you time compared to freehand. Let's say I have a customer, a client that always comes to me. I mean, she always has maybe a wedding guest event or something every single time. Now, because I have a blog kept somewhere, whenever she comes to me, I'm just going to pick that block every single time she comes. You just pick it up and trace out. Maybe there's an alteration, there's a different design you need to do. You just pick it up and use it again. So it really saves you time. It saves you then using your energy over and over and over and over again, right? So that is reason two why I love pattern drafting. So what do I do instead of cutting my pattern? I will trace my pattern. So I'll put a tracing paper over this and I will trace. Now that means that I still have this any day, anytime. Third reason why I don't like to cut my pattern is because I like to have my allowance already in the pattern before I cut. I don't like to put allowance on the fabric. I'm one of those designers that I like to just have everything that I need. Like I've put all my sewing allowance on the pattern, and the only way I can achieve that is by tracing this pattern out. Now I'm going to do this as an example. So eventually, you guys have helped me today. I'm not going to be cutting this pattern. I am now going to be tracing it because I need to explain to you why I do not cut my pattern. So instead of cutting this pattern, I'm going to bring my tracing paper and I'm going to trace out the front separately and put my allowance on it already, so I don't have to put my allowance when I'm cutting the fabric. I would already put my allowance on the pattern. So okay guys, so this is my traced pattern. This is one of the biggest reasons why I do love pattern drafting, because I get to keep this one. I come back to this one 10 years from now. I can come back to this pattern 5 years from now. I can come to this block and use it. So like I told you guys before, I don't like stress, so I always try to look for the easiest, most accurate. But accuracy is not to be negotiated. Is always a factor for me. It has to be accurate, it has to be awesome, it has to be excellent, but it also does not have to break my back to get it. Now I don't have to stress myself too much. Now, one last reason why I love pattern drafting is the way it helps you save fabric. You will not believe the amount of fabrics that you get to save when you're using pattern drafting. You see all these things that I cut out, there's a way you can place and place. It's called fabric marking or something. There's a way you can place and place and place, and you will not even have any of this fabric, any of these pieces at all. So one of the things that fabric does, especially when you are doing something like contour or corsets, I can use I can show you some of my designs. I used half yard of fabric to make it. Now if you are a ready to wear designer, what does that do for you? What does that tell you? It tells you that you can save money by not wasting. If you're meant to measure designer, you might be thinking, it's not my fabric now, it's the customer's fabric, it's not my problem, I beg, let me cut. But when it is you that is buying the fabric before your customer will come and buy the finished product, you think of every way to save money. And that is another reason why I love pattern drafting. Thank you and see you in the next one. Don't say that I didn't do anything for you. Love you guys, and please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button so that you're the first person to know when I drop new videos. And also share this video. Share this video. Help me. Oh God. God is good. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Mm.